Alright, how's it going? It's Bacon Von Baconstein coming at you from the shop. Previously I made this little bevel guide for my knives. When I go to do the bevel on the sander, what I'll do is I'll clamp the blank to this guide and just pass it back and forth in front of the sander. What ended up happening is these bolts that I used to set and keep my angle started cutting into the guard, or actually into the to the rest on my sander. So I recently cleaned those up, put a little bit of tape down. So what I've done is I've already pre-drilled and tapped some holes in some angle iron and some flat steel to make a new one, new and improved. So that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to start putting this thing together. Try to move things over so I'm in the camera angle. That would probably help. So you see some marks on here because I tried putting this together earlier, just a little bit ago, and my camera died. The batteries died on it, so I had to stop it and switch out the batteries. Yay! Doesn't matter how good technology is, you still have a big old dum-dum like me. Messes it up. Anywho. So, got these drilled and tapped. All this is 3/8 bolt. I shaved off the head, well, cut it with a hacksaw, really. But made it so that way this hinge can close a little bit better. Me personally, I like to paint things. I see no reason with this corroding a little bit down the road and now it's useless, or now it gets, corrosion all over my knives and whatnot. I don't really see much of a use in that. So what I do when I take things apart and I'm going to put them back together, I normally mark them, but since I painted these, I actually took a file and just made notches. So really, putting this back together is super simple, because all you have to do is line up these little notches. Makes it simple. And I like simple. I see no reason to unnecessarily complicate things. I used regular white paint, some Rust-Oleum on the hinge. I used some John Deere green tractor paint that I had on these bolts. I just figured I'd just make them green for no real good reason. And then on these this piece of angle, and this angle is just scrap angle. This is a super cheap, easy to make jig. Well, cheap and easy as long as you've already got a tap set and a drill or some sort of drilling device for you people who like to kick it old school. So this is, for better or worse, done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put in these bolts, and these bolts are going to set our angle, and you'll be able to put whatever bevel you want on your knife, and you're going to be able to hold this by these bolts. And that's how that works. So I'm also the type of person that if it's not overkill, it's not enough, so of course I have to put 2 bolts, one on each side. So when I end up setting my angle that I want, all I'm going to do is just lock these 2 nuts down, and this won't back out, and I'll be able to use this to hold it to go back and forth. Now, because I have a flat bottom, I won't be cutting into my aluminum guard on my sander anymore. A little quick side note, one of the best machines you can get in a shop is a little shop fan, or a bigger shop fan, I don't care. But just to have a little bit of air circulation on you really helps. Sorry, ADHD. So back to this. Last thing we're going to put in is these little 1/4-inch bolts. And this is cool. This isn't 100% needed. This is a more of a creature comfort to me. But it's one of those, if I'm gonna make a new one, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna make it nicer than the last one. You know, so for instance, I coated this all with bed liner, spray-on bed liner, and all I did was take a paintbrush and just smooth it out because I don't need it to be a 1/4-inch thick and super knobby and all that, and have a crazy texture. So I'm going to thread these in. Alright, what these are doing now is these are going to act as a guide to set your blank on. So now your blank is always going to be straight, it's not going to be cockeyed, it's not going to want to vibrate away, right? Just take your little clamp device, clamp the son of a bitch up, and you're done. Now all you got to do is grab this, put it and just pass it back and forth in front of your sanding belt, and you'll always be able to keep the same angle every time. Whatever angle you set this at, it'll keep. And then when you're done with one side, flip it around, do the other side, same angle. What will end up happening is you will have bevels, or a bevel grind, on each side that matches every damn time. The only downfall I've seen with a system like this is a super, a crazy type of knife design where nothing's straight, and sometimes you just gotta do things the old school way with a file. So, yeah, that's it. Next to nothing in parts. Super effective. Actually, ridiculously effective. So now you can pass it back and forth, and you won't scrape your bolt into this because now you don't even have bolts that are hitting this. Perfect. And yes, I have two sanders. I have a larger sander here that I use with metal only, and I have a smaller one here that I use with plastic for Kydex sheaths and whatnot, leather, wood, anything else basically. This way here I don't run the risk of getting a hot metal shaving in plastic shavings or wood shavings and possibly starting a fire. So, anywho, this is Bacon Von Baconstein from the garage, little shop area, signing out.